Hi, welcome to another Cycle Steve video. This one is on the 2023 Bike Across Kansas bicycle touring ride. A ride that started in Elkhart, Kansas and went easterly across the state and finished at the Missouri border and then at Pleasanton, Kansas. A couple of quick notes before you watch. Number one, I had one day where the battery died. I wasn't watching or paying attention, so I inserted a short slideshow of pictures from that day. I hope you enjoy that. Also, I had two great interviews that because I was a doofus and didn't have the camera set right, I was not able to include them. One was with the owner of the Genova restaurant in Newton, Kansas. Great Italian fare. She was a hoot. It was just a delightful experience. If you're ever in Newton, Kansas, stop at Genova Italian restaurant. Also, I did an inter-ride interview with Stephanie Weaver, who is the retiring executive director of Bike Across Kansas. Stephanie, I apologize. I had the camera set wrong. It was a great interview. We will miss you, but we do look forward to you participating as a rider in future years. So that being said, please enjoy my video of the 2023 Bike Across Kansas. So hi, here's another video from Cycle Steve. Laughter in the background are some of these yahoos, if you can see them back there. So if you're watching this video, you're seeing my 2023 Bike Across Kansas. You're watching it because you're ever looking for the memories, because you rode it, or you're BAK curious and you want to know what biking across the beautiful state of Kansas is like. Well, we're going to drive out to Elkhart, Kansas, jump on our bikes. We're going to pedal out to the Colorado and Oklahoma three-point corner in Kansas. Then the next day we're going to take off and go east until we get to Missouri. So we'll see you in about 3 hours in Elkhart, Kansas. Hi, so here we are now in Elkhart, Kansas. You see behind me, this is a group, Alpaca Adventure Tours. What they are, it's a tent service company. People sign up and pay them money and they have their tents ready for them. They have morning treats and coffee and water. They have sleeping pads. You can kind of see them over there. They have it for everything you need except your own sleeping bag, your own toiletries. Not a bad deal. We're here at the high school in Elkhart. We'll take some more video of it later, but we have all our stuff unpacked. And Mike, our buddy, is going to take our vehicle back for us, and then we're going to be heading across the state of Kansas. So more to come. Okay, so here we are. We're, as I said earlier, we're in Elkhart. We got camp set up with my buddies Keith, and this here is my friend Todd Crosby from the beautiful state of Texas. Todd, tell us a little about yourself.
From Austin, Texas. Came up here first time doing BAK. Rode freewheel last year with Steve, so looking forward to doing Kansas this year.
Yeah, we're going to show them what how flat Kansas is. So join us today as we just ride out to the 3 points and back. And you guys are?
Jeff Jacobson, Laura Jacobson.
Hi guys.
Documentary project on the state of Kansas.
Well, that's fantastic because I'm actually filming for my YouTube channel too.
Fantastic, great to see you. We'll see you out there.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Then we're going to ride it ourselves.
Just some of the road out to the 3 points. Nothing special. Wind's picking up a little bit. Hopefully the wind will be just like this tomorrow. It'd be perfect for our first real leg of Bike Across Kansas. So what you see there is a Cimarron National Grassland. Pretty much as far as the eye can see for a while. This is nationally protected. I have no idea if this is what it was like back in the 1800s, maybe. Just a guess. But we're getting real close to the 3 points. Okay. So here we are at the 3 points. Kansas, Colorado, Oklahoma. They say that this has certain magical properties if you stand on it. So let's give it a try. You got to point it at me, buddy, because I'm going to try and stand on this. You ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Let's go to Colorado. Rocky Mountain High. Colorado, Rocky Mountain High. Oklahoma, where the sun is shining all the time. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Rocky Mountain High, Oklahoma. Somewhere Oklahoma, where the Colorado, Rocky Mountain High. I'm done.
I hope so.
Okay, so I got signed in, checked in, got my, hey, that's pretty cool, my BAK bag, my name tag, which is very important, by the way. And now I'm going to pick up a route book and a water bottle. So, all part of the first day of BAK. Okay, let's check out and see what we got here. So, number one, as I stated earlier, we have the BAK name tag. We have the lanyard for the BAK name tag, so you can put it around your neck while you ride. We have BAK postcards, and they will have a box. If you want to drop these off, they will mail them for you and send them to whoever you address them to. Oh, by the way, there's the route book. It's got all the good BAK information in there. And a Ziploc bag. We have some hand sanitizer, chamois butter, a BAK sew-on patch, I'm not sure what that is yet. That's something. And the BAK t-shirt, which is very, very important. One year they asked us to ride in our BAK t-shirt, being a cotton t-shirt, and it poured, and it was just an awful day. And then we have some scratch labs, a sticker, and a pin. And then the bag itself, which is very, very cool. And that's everything. So, that's the BAK swag bag. So at BAK, almost in every overnight town, there's a fundraiser. Whoa, you just saw that. Anyway, there's a fundraiser almost every town where they serve dinners and you buy them, and lo and behold, here's a really, really good one. Chicken and noodles over mashed potatoes with green beans and a roll. And that's what I had for $10. And it was so good. Thank you. And pie. Pie is paramount. Good morning. Really, technically the first day of BAK today. Rode out to the 3 Points and back last night, and then we had a storm, which happens. High straight winds came in. It was tough. The tent was just wanting to blow over like crazy, but we managed to survive it. Had a little bit of rain, but not a lot, so the roads are going to be fine. Now we have the ritual of breaking camp, which I have almost completed mine. People are getting out of here, as you can see, and there'll be like 600 cyclists on the road here in just a little bit. So enjoy with me the first official day of BAK. Okay, we're ready to rock and roll on day one of BAK. I'm here with my buddy Keith.
Today's day 1, yesterday was day 0.
Yes, and we're leaving Elkhart on our way to Satana. We'll be going through Rolla and Hugoton, and only the gods of Kansas, nowhere else. So off we go on BAK. A horse enjoying the day. We're almost to Rolla. If you can see the water tower up ahead. We'll take a quick little break, stretch, maybe get some water. So this is Rolla, Kansas. Yeah, interesting fun fact. I consider Rolla, Missouri my hometown. It's spelled the exact same way. Went to junior high and high school there, so Shout out to Rolla, Missouri. Here's your sister city in Kansas. Rolla. Rolling into Hugoton, which is the halfway point of the ride today to the way to Santana. And Keith and I are going to stop here and eat a snack, stretch the legs, and relax for a few. We've done 33 miles, average 15 miles per hour. I didn't mean to go that fast, but it was easy cycling out of Elkhart to Rolla. Now the wind's starting to pick up and it's going to be a bit of a sludge after we turn to the northeast. But hey, you know, that's all part of riding. So welcome to Hugoton, Kansas. Is this a drinking of the pickle juice? Is this what this is?
Yes. Drink it, Jack.
I do it all the time.
Did you drink it?
No,
Okay.
I didn't touch it. I didn't touch it.
Okay. Here.
Toast.
Ding.
So once every day, we run into the sag hags.
Here. We need to.
There you go. These guys always run a sag. They're if I can, these guys are famous. They're at every BAK for how many years?
I'm 2.
This will be my 25th year.
These
I
guys,
bike, but then I
But you must have started when you were only 10.
Yeah, right.
these guys are the best, and thank you for what you do.
Oh, you're welcome. You know what goes on BAK stays on BAK.
All right. Santana, guys, here we are. We're gonna go find some beer. Okay, so we're getting ready to leave Santana. Had a pretty good night last night. Had a great breakfast. One thing on BAK they have is the luggage trucks. So they transport stuff from stop to stop, just so you can see what it's like. See that guy throwing his, they want us to throw them high and tight so they can get everybody's luggage in here. And it's just fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's so high and tight right now, I think they're all going to fall down.
Yeah. At any rate, though, this is how our stuff gets from town to town. And it'll be waiting for us, unless we're one of the first ones there, in which case it's waiting for us to unload it. So, again, you see alpaca over there. We're getting ready to do a 76-mile day to Spearville, be going through Dodge City. And Keith is so looking forward to it. It's his favorite day of BAK.
Yeah, every day's my favorite day.
So join us on day 2 of BAK. So, fun little item. We're on Highway 56 to Dodge City, and it just so happens from Santana to Dodge City is 56 miles. So join us as we continue on another fun-filled day of Bike Across Kansas. A couple of common sights out here. These oil and natural gas pumps and grain silos. You see them almost every 10 miles or so. Another thing you see a lot out here are these valley systems, which is how they water. They get the water out of the Ogallala Aquifer. If you can't hear me, it's because the wind is blowing like 20 miles an hour. Anyway, it's going to be a fun day, so talk to you later. Okay, so we've gone what, 40, how many, 40 watt miles? Almost 45. Brutal wind, interesting conditions. We're in Ensign, Kansas. Still about 12 miles, so about an hour before we turn toward Dodge. Then another 4 or 5 miles so we find someplace to eat, and then only about 20 miles to Spearville. So I haven't taken any video because of the conditions. Very busy road with a very small shoulder. But hey, you know, that's what it is sometimes on this ride. So anyway, we'll talk again soon. So taking a little rest, we got about a little under 7 miles left to Spearsville. We've passed lots and lots of wind farms today, tons of them. So you can see across the highway just for miles. I don't know a whole lot about them, so I'm not going to try and act like I do. But Kansas has become very wind farmy. So there you go. And you see that grain elevator there in the distance? That is Spearville, our destination for today. So you come in a lot of these towns with BAK and you'll find all these like different things available to you. Here's a beer garden that we're at today in Spearville. But it's just not beer, it's brats and chips and other goodies.
And good people.
Good people.
Good times.
And everybody's having a great time, hanging out, drinking beer, eating brats, and talking about their day and how wonderfully horrible it was until they got here.
Yay!
And then the wind died down and the beer got cold.
Absolutely. So thank you very much, guys. It was good and cold.
Thank you.
Good to have you.
Appreciate it. Okay, on the road, day 3. Satana? No, Spearville. Sorry, Spearville to Stafford. A couple of S towns. So we've actually had 3 consecutive S towns for overnights: Santana, Spearville, and now Stafford. I remember on a previous BK we did 3 straight O towns, which was like Osborne, Ottawa, and some other town.
Got drunk off your life, and I lost myself again. You hit just like a drug. This time I won't let you in. You're playing with fire. No, I didn't on the prey, but this time I won't collide like I did yesterday. You broke my heart once again. I won't buy the dust in return. I can't give it. I can't give it. I won't give it this time. You broke my heart once again. Well, you're bad, but you're bad it for me. I can't give it. I can't give it. I've already run with the wolves. Far from the light of the day. I can't go back to you. I'm stronger today. Been to the dark side. I don't know. So if you
Okay, so back up and running. Got a battery in the GoPro. Hope you enjoyed the little short slideshow. We are hooked up. We're now in Stafford. I got my tent up. There is supposed to be rain tonight, but it's supposed to be only trace. So I actually like to sleep in the rain. I just don't like putting up a wet tent. So we'll see how that goes, but we're going to give it a shot. Hey, while we're at it, I haven't talked much about my setup. I ride a Specialized Diverge. I think it's a 2020. Not real sure. It's got GRX. It's a 2x with a 4830 on the front. I can't remember what the cassette is on the back. See, I run Pathfinder Pro tires. Those are 42s. And I have Hunt 33 wheels with DT Swiss hubs. I run a Dawn to Dusk top tube bag, which I really like, but it's falling apart. So I'll probably go ahead and get another one because I like it so much. I do have this handlebar bag, which I've picked up at the Bicycle Peddler. I really like it a lot. It handles a lot of stuff. I can put all sorts of stuff in there, including, you know, gels and bars. And see, I have my dog spray. I have some lube, some sunscreen, and I can, you know, stick other stuff in there as need be. So that's my setup, and by golly, I really enjoy it. So, oh, and I have one of those Specialized saddles, the 3D printed saddles, and it's very smooth. Got the old ass saver on the back in case, you know, I got a trail, so my backside stays pretty decent. And that's about it.
Good morning. I'm whispering because it's very early, and I'm putting up after our overnight in Stafford. Today we go to Newton. This is my tent almost broke back down the back. I have 2 bags, one for clothes and another one for my camping gear and toiletries. So there's my bike, getting everything put up, and today is going to be about an 80-mile ride. So legs are a little tired, but that's BAK. Talk to you soon.
So good morning. So we're on Tuesday on BAK and leaving Stafford for Newton, which is pretty close to my hometown, Derby. We're at the Stafford Senior Center where they're having their breakfast this morning. They're a little overwhelmed. I've been on a lot of rides where they have breakfasts at senior centers, and it always seems like we overwhelm them with our numbers and our appetite. But the food was pretty good. You know, it's not like a sit-down restaurant where they make it to order. It's always pre-made for the most part, but they do the best they can. And you know what? When you're on one of these rides, you could probably eat roadkill and just think it was French cuisine. So we're going to digest our food a little bit and get going on a 79-mile trek through Kansas on our way to Newton. More to come in a little bit. There's actually a lot of hills in Kansas. It's not as flat as everybody says. Paved highways cut through a lot of them, but if you do a lot of gravel in Kansas, you discover them real fast. That's why I like rides like the Unbound. You get 6,000-7,000 foot of climb, and the 200, I think they actually do closer to 14,000-15,000. So yeah, Kansas, it's not really that flat. It just looks that way from the air. So if you look out there to the right, you see a big field of wheat. Kansas, famous for its agriculture, wheat production. This year's been really rough because of drought conditions. The yield is not going to be good and the wheat's not super healthy. So a lot of farmers are going to suffer. But they're doing the best they can. It's often said it's the only job where you only get paid twice a year. So you see that rail line over there. One thing that's interesting about all these little small towns, they were established years and years ago next to the rail line. They're so many miles apart. That's how far the early steam locomotives could make it without adding more water. So these little towns serve to service those railroads and locomotives. They still exist today, even though they no longer do that. Very little towns. We'll film a couple here pretty soon. One of my favorite coming up is Abbeville. Just a little cool town that is still barely existing, but they do have a rich history because they helped this country grow and support farmers and the railroad. So this is Flavina, Kansas. Very, very small town, Kansas. Again, these little towns service the railroads like I was describing earlier, and they're not thriving communities so much anymore, but people still live here. Just interesting buildings. There's a school that I believe I talked to somebody when I came through here on the previous ride that's no longer being used. Nice architecture though, and they have a nice playground. Anyway, interesting little Kansas towns. We're going to get into a pretty part of the state, by the way. We're still on a flat road, but a lot more trees, a little bit more rolling vista. It's just prettier and breaks up the scenery and the wind some. This is just pretty darn cool. Gosh, we're in Partridge, I believe, Partridge, Kansas, and they got a cool little rest stop here. I think they have cinnamon rolls, yeah, pie, and a big fluffy dog.
Fluffy dog.
What's your name?
This is Roosevelt.
Hi Roosevelt, how you doing? Thank you for the new deal.
Yeah.
Hi there, how are you? Yes, you like people, don't you?
Yeah.
What was that noise? You see his ears perk up? Yeah, that's my Garmin going off. You want to go with me? Huh?
Yeah, cool.
Oh, man.
Hey, grab one of those cinnamon rolls and we'll take off.
Hey, thank you so much, guys. Just a cool old building on the route today. Guessing it's like some kind of grain bin building. This is Elmer. Looks like a little ghost town, actually, for the most part. Farm fresh eggs right there. So we're almost in Newton, getting pretty close. See these little signs telling us we're getting close. About to turn here at this cemetery, very old cemetery. Fun fact, there is a Revolutionary War widow buried in this cemetery. She was a child bride who lived to be like 100 years old, and she's buried in this cemetery. We're on our way to Newton, about, I don't know, 8 miles that way. Hi, so here we are. What day is this?
Tuesday.
Tuesday evening in Newton. I knew he was going to be on this ride because my daughter called and told me to make sure I know. But this is
Bob Willmeyer.
And he happens to be the father of my son-in-law, Gerard Willmeyer, who's married to my daughter, Kelly. And now I can show this to Kelly, and she'll be so pleased. But Bob is kicking it here, just having a great time.
We had a heck of a ride today, 80 miles.
Yeah, and it was just really great to meet up with him because he's a terrific guy. So, more to come.
You know, you were on a different pack line than I was today, but yeah. See ya.
So this group of people you see are part of the BAK crew. They work diligently every day. They've been here working by this truck and coordinating for the last hour. They coordinate all the sag stops, make sure the routes are marked properly, take care of everybody, and make sure that we are taken care of on this ride and nothing bad happens to us. Can't thank them enough. They're all volunteers. It's a non-profit, and it's just incredible what these folks do. Good morning. We had a really nice rain last night. A little bit of thunder and lightning, which I only heard once because I only woke up briefly. Otherwise, I slept a solid 7 hours. And I feel great this morning. Rain's supposed to let off here in about 30 minutes. So not in a big hurry today, even though it's another 70-mile plus day. We have Luntz and Cassidy on our way to Eureka, which is a pretty cool town here in Kansas. And we'll film some sights along the way, and it should be an interesting day if we don't get too wet. So, see you soon. Good morning, leaving Newton here. And this is the first train delay we've had on BAK. We normally always have at least one. We're in Newton, which is home of the railers. So yeah, a railroad background. It's an Amtrak station. And here we wait for a while and catch our breath while we wait for this train to pass by. No worries, as this isn't a race. So we've had drought conditions in Kansas this year. It just started to get some decent rainfall the last couple of weeks. But you see how far down this pond is? It's probably a watershed, but it's down quite a bit still. It hurts to see some of the ponds when you're riding around in the countryside. But it has been raining quite a bit lately, which will help the corn farmers. It's way too late for the wheat. Probably help the soybean too, maybe the milo. But at any rate, yeah, I just wanted to show that to you. So we're getting to the middle part of the state now. totally different terrain, getting into some hills. You see all the corn crops. Farms even look different. Funny, great thing about, you know, like a lot of states, Kansas has varying terrain, and well, it just changes as you go across the state. The more east you get, the more wooded it'll get. By the time we get to Pleasanton, it'll probably be pretty wooded. So even though there's a lot of fields and agriculture and crops, we're definitely seeing different terrain now. But listen to the frogs. A little ways back I saw a big blue heron. Probably fell on its belly with frogs. But I couldn't stop to take a picture because it just wasn't plausible at the time. We're getting to a very unique area of Kansas called the Flint Hills. It's, well, Keith, explain the Flint Hills a little bit.
So the Flint Hills were formed by the glaciers, and the glaciers stopped along I-70, and this is when all was pushed up, all the rocks and stuff, which is why you don't see very many trees, because they don't grow out here.
Yeah, a lot of flint though, hence the name. And but there's a lot of cattle ranching, as you can see, that goes on in the Flint Hills. And also a lot of fantastic gravel riding, including the Unbound, which is pretty famous for racing through the Flint Hills of Kansas. Thank you, Keith. You're quite informative.
You are welcome.
There's a really big watershed over there. You see how down it is. But when it's full, man, wow, that's huge. It's almost into Cassidy, where we're going to have a BAK provided lunch. That there below is the turnpike, 135 turnpike, and goes up to Emporia, then to Topeka, and I-70. So this is an area I'm very familiar with. I start a lot of gravel rides down here. There's a little park on the left, and oh, this guy is going to be difficult. So I'm getting way over. Whoa. Sorry about that. And we'll have lunch here, and I'll show it to you here in a minute. Holler, you're going on YouTube.
Hey. Welcome to Cassidy.
So here we are at the BAK provided lunch. Not sure what it is up there yet, but it looks good. And a lot of people sitting around eating. Hopefully I can find a place to sit after I get some food, and we'll just enjoy it. So after 18 unhappy miles on US 54, we're in Eureka. The shoulder here is pretty nice in town, but for 18 miles it was barely wide enough to fit a bike. For part of it, you could not even fit a bike on the shoulder because the rumble strip took up the entire shoulder. So we had to ride out in the highway, which was no bueno. There was a couple of nice descents where we got up over into the 30s, but other than that, I'm glad that's done. Except I know going out of town tomorrow, we also leave Eureka on Highway 54. So almost to the turn in the town. We'll shoot some video soon. Here we are going down Main Street, Eureka. Quaint Main Street with a lot of older buildings. See some of the architecture from back in the day. Pretty cool, if you ask me. This is what we got here. There's a She-Ra Williams. I don't think that's going anymore. Let's see, Homestake Bank and Trust. The Greenwood Hotel. Looks pretty cool. There's a gazebo. There's a car about to hit me. So anyway, this is kind of downtown Eureka. Well, it's bedtime in Eureka. Tomorrow we're going to Chanute, and the day after that we're going to go, well, I don't remember. So, but yeah, let's see, tomorrow's Thursday, then we have Friday and Saturday, and Bike Across Kansas will be over. But anyway, I'm gonna get my home away from home right there, and tomorrow will be another day. So we got to figure everything out, like breakfast and packing and riding and what it's going to be like. The weather's supposed to be really, really good. There's no forecast for rain. I think it's going to be actually one of our warmest days, so we have that to deal with. But looking forward to tomorrow. So we'll talk again in the morning. Talk to you then. Good morning. It's June 15th on BAK, and we're leaving Eureka on our way to Chanute. We'll be passing through Coyville, where there's a BAK sponsored lunch. One thing I've noticed this year, not having done this for 9 years, a lot of the schools that I've actually been to in the past, they had quite a few improvements. I know particularly in Spearville, where there was practically a whole new school. The infrastructure and the interiors and the athletic fields has made this trip just a real joy. One of the biggest improvements have actually been the water fountains, and almost all the schools have bottle fillers, which is fantastic, because I can remember in the past trying to fill your bottle in a regular sink, and it was just next to impossible. Showers have been really great for the most part, and I have no complaints. This has been a wonderful tour, and I'm having a great time, and I'm glad I can share it with you. So join me today on another day of Bike Across Kansas. We passed several cemeteries, but this is by far and away the biggest one yet. This is a Greenwood County Cemetery. Had a huge mausoleum. You can see it in the background over there. Some other smaller mausoleums. Just a very pretty well kept large cemetery. Off we go towards Chanute. Well, there's just nothing special about bicycling on US 54. Narrow shoulder, a lot of traffic, just not a whole lot to see. And occasionally you get these gigantic loads with, you know, Lee cars that say oversized. And here comes one now. Thought I'd check it out for you. It makes it kind of dangerous because we have vehicles behind us and then these oversized loads, and it's just not good for cyclists on the shoulder. Looks like this might be a windmill section here, and it is. Creates quite the wind current. So I probably won't do any more video until we turn south toward Toronto. I do want to give a big shout out to Garmin and their products. And one of their products is the Varia rear radar. You can see that little radar icon in the upper right hand corner. When a car comes up behind me, it starts beeping and will start a little dot on the right and show that the car's coming behind me and how soon it's coming behind me. I didn't want to do it while a car was coming, but anyway, thank you Garmin. I wouldn't ride without my Varia radar. So this is the Verdigris River. Traffic there, sorry, don't know a whole lot about it, but it sure is a pretty slow moving river. We're almost at the turnoff, so we get off 54. It's about a mile up the road here. Looking forward to getting back on backcountry blacktop. Okay, so we're done with US 54, and now we're on some blacktop. So really glad to be off that road, and in case about getting run over by a SAG vehicle, or I am, I don't know which. Here it comes. At any rate though, glad to be off a major highway. On our way to Coyville for lunch. This is much better riding, prettier, more scenic, less traffic. Pretty good road too so far. Nice blacktop. Passing through the town of Toronto, Kansas. It's really close to a lake that's also called Lake Toronto, I think. Yeah, they have a wildlife area here, I know. And you see it's another old Kansas town, pretty well established. Downtown section is way up there. Not going to take video all the way through it, but just want to make you aware of Toronto, Kansas. By the way, the road we're on now is State 105. We're still on US 76 with the bicycle route. And here we are in downtown Toronto. I think I could blow through the stop sign. And here is downtown Toronto. Home of the original Sag Hag. I did not know that. There are some good hills outside of Toronto. See all the cyclists coming up and down them. We call these rollers. And you can build up the speed and do them pretty fast if you time them right and take a lot of the effort out of cycling back up the hill. There goes my buddy. I'll catch up with you. Anyway, want to show that to you. Okay, so this is Coyville, Kansas. This is our lunch stop. Looks like it's maybe a community center of some sort. Maybe with, I don't know. I'm just going to quit speculating and just go enjoy it. Coyville, Kansas. The wheat harvest has started in this area. You see the reaper out there doing his thing. The wheat out here looks a little better than it does out west. We've seen some other harvested areas. See, there's also some hay that they still need to bale, and some they have baled. At any rate, farming is huge in Kansas, and there's some of it in action. Welcome to Chanute.
He wasn't stopping.
No, he wasn't. I had it on camera too. You always got to be aware as a cyclist, folks. So this is Horizon Aerostructures. They have a little rest stop for us here. We're going to check it out. Yeah, hi. So we're here at Horizon Aerostructures on the outskirts of Chanute, Kansas. Tell us a little bit of Horizon and what your mission is.
So our mission is to always deliver a quality product on time. We assemble aircraft parts.
Awesome. And you're like a tier 2?
You're asking the wrong person on that question.
Oh, okay. So you supply Boeing, Lockheed, like a bunch of different companies. And you got this rest stop for us.
We do. We've got water, Gatorade, your snacks. You can help yourself to whatever you would like.
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So some of the people in BAK choose to sleep overnight in the gym. I'm going to do that tonight, partially because of a chance of thunderstorms, but also because I had a little bit of a heat issue today and I don't want to sleep outside in the tent. So without showing anybody's faces or anything, basically this is what an indoor setup looks like. So sleep tonight in the gym, get a good night's rest, and tomorrow we'll do Friday on BAK. Okay, good morning. This is Friday the 16th, the day before the final day of BAK. I stayed inside last night because, well, I was tired. It was a little hot yesterday and the weather was kind of iffy last night. Today my buddy Keith is going to SAG for a good friend of ours, Christy Rudiger, so she can get a ride in today. A good old friend of mine, Brad Schmidt, has acquiesced to follow me around today. and until he at least gets tired of me, and then he'll probably drop me like a hot potato. I think another old friend, Gary Webb, is going to join us, and it's going to be a slow roll, and we're eventually going to end up on the Prairie Spirit Trail, which is a north-south trail here in Kansas. It basically runs from Iola to Ottawa, and there's a way to connect it to the Flint Hills Nature Trail, which runs from Ottawa all the way to Council Grove, with plans to extend it even farther. They're also talking about some way to get it connected to the Katy Trail, but that's a to-be thing. So we're leaving Chanute today. The rail trail is a little bit shorter route, only 50.6 miles, the shortest ride we've had all week outside of the opening, our day 0 when we ran out to 3 Points and back. So enjoy the ride with me today, and we'll see if we can find something interesting to shoot video of. Just want to stop and take a quick film of this old brick silo. I've seen a lot of old abandoned silos, some with trees growing in them. I'm not sure I ever saw a brick one like this. I mean, that had to have been something to build. I have no idea how old it is, but it's just kind of cool looking. So there you go. So we're on the route to do the Prairie Spirit Trail, and didn't know part of it was going to be on gravel to get there. A pleasant surprise, actually, because my bike is totally rigged for this. Been looking at a lot of gravel on the way out, seeing some really, there's a B road, seeing some really primo gravel. So this is fun. Looking forward to see how far this goes.
Is this heaven?
No, it's Kansas.
It's a cool looking place with a cool looking bridge. Neosho River Park, so this is obviously going over the Neosho River. Some of these bridges, these arch bridges like this, they're dotted throughout Kansas. This one is exceptionally stately, gorgeous, and well built. Check that out, folks. This is awesome. Wow, loving it. And we're now in Humboldt, Kansas. So this is the Southwind Rail Trail. I guess it becomes the Prairie Spirit Trail, but this is the trailhead in Humboldt. And we're going to take this, I don't know, all the way to Garnett, I guess. And over there is like a BMX track. That's crazy. It looks like somebody's homemade BMX mountain track. That's way cool. So here we are riding along on the Southwind Trail on our way to Iola, where this becomes the Prairie Spirit. Just look at this tree canopy. Is this the coolest thing ever? From a distance, I thought maybe it was a covered bridge, but it's just a covered tree canopy. Oh man, I gotta come and do this sometime and do the entire route. Just gorgeous. So this, folks, is an iron trestle bridge here on the Southwind Trail. It's going over a river. Just look at the rivets on that thing and the construction of it. Now again, this was a rail trail, so a railroad train went over this thing, and some people putting love locks on. And it's pretty cool. Look at the water down there. Nice bridge. So we're still in the Prairie Spirit Trail. A couple of tunnels. Not any really big or deep or long, but just a few has got roads that go over them.
You should have told me that there was a post there.
And that was one of them. We're in Garnett. Here's an old train station. Very cool looking. Very cool looking. Oh, check that out. Hi guys.
Hey, welcome.
Thank you. Is that like a skate park? What is that?
Some sort of
fitness court. Yeah, fitness court. And there's a
suntan and fitness.
yeah, and there's a caboose. Looks kind of like a railroad inspired town. You can see the water tower there in the distance. It's kind of like an antique style. This is Garnett, Kansas. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. Check out all these bikes they went out and found and put down this meridian. Bikes every few trees all the way down. What a pretty town. The pretty houses. A very, very gorgeous street. And here we are at Garnett High School, the end of the ride today. Tomorrow we'll go out to the Missouri border and then Pleasanton, and by golly, there'll be BAK for the year 2023. So we'll finish the journey tomorrow. Thank you for watching today. So all over town, businesses, residences, all over this town has been getting bikes and decorating them. This one is at the Gopher State Service Bank, and you see they got like a thing with, man, it almost looks like real money, but it's not. It says copy on it. But anyway, yeah, if you look down, you can see there's a bunch more businesses with decorated bikes down that way, and businesses with decorated bikes up this way, and residences all over. They're really happy to have us here, and we're spending a lot of money in their town, so it's very cool. So thank you very much, Garnett.
Love you in the spring and in the fall. Honey, honey, little eyes, I love you. Little eyes, I love you. Love you best of all. Honey that I love so well.
The BAK Barbershop Singers. One thing with BAK is a check-in, check-out sheet. So every day we have to check ourselves in and out on a sheet. You see there's me up at the top there, and it's just so they know that the riders are active and out there and being safe. So it's just another facet of BAK. Well, here it is, Saturday, June 17th, last day of BAK. Everybody's trying to get an early rollout because everybody's anxious to get to the end of the ride. It's been a great week, a lot of fun, good weather for the most part, great facilities. Thank you again, Anderson County Junior Senior High School. Started out in Eureka, hard to believe, a week ago yesterday. And now we're going to go see the Missouri border. It's amazing when you think about it, but all in all, it's been a really good trip. So we're on the road out of Garnett on our way to Pleasanton. This is just a really, really pretty part of Kansas. As you can see, it's actually quite hilly. According to Garmin, we have 4 categorized climbs today. Plenty to see out here, plenty of trees, scenery, shrubbery, interesting houses, just all sorts of stuff to kind of keep you occupied and engaged. Looks like we got another decorated bike up here at one of the residences. I'll catch that real quick, and then I'll shut her down and I'll just cycle for a while. BAK, thanks for coming. 44 more miles or bust. That's awesome. So join us today on the final day. Morning. Right before I started filming, the horse whinnied at us. It's really cool.
He wants to go.
Yeah. So I just got past by one of the Velo bikes. It's a trike with a shell that basically creates its own draft. Put a pair of young legs in there and they're really, really fast. And there he goes. Hi, Cycle Steve here on BAK 2023, and I am here with a special guest. Please tell us who you are.
Hi, I'm Helen from London, and it's my first BAK, and I've flown over to Kansas special for this event.
Oh my gosh, this is so fantastic. We're so happy to have you here. What was the motivation for coming this year?
My partner has raved about BAK being the best ride that they know, so here I am to give it a try.
Thank you so much for riding with us this week. Say thank you.
Stephanie.
So there's 4 Garmin rated climbs on this sucker, this route today. We're on the second one. I'm almost at the top. They're fun, but not so much fun when it's your day 8 of riding and your legs are pretty spent. So almost to the top. Came from way down there. You can see 2 more of these to go. Yay! Now we got 1 more rated climb, and then about another mile, and we'll be at the Missouri border. By the way, we've been crossing these little blackwater, slow-moving creeks all day. I had some fish creeks like that as a kid. Bullhead catfish, perch. They're just real slow-moving little creeks unless there's a thunderstorm. But they're very pretty and very scenic. Well, off we go. Just so you know, BAK has never been a race. It's all about touring and seeing the state, experiencing the small towns, getting to know people, having a good time, eating some food. So 3 points of Kansas, Oklahoma, and Colorado to the Missouri border. Here we are in Missouri, well, almost in Missouri. Now we're in Missouri. So, thanks for riding with us. Hi, Cycle Steve here. BAK 2023 is in the books and done. About 550 miles across the state of Kansas. Met a lot of people, saw a lot of sights, ate a lot of food, drank a lot of drink. I tell you, a good time was had by one and all. It's one of the best things you can do if you're anywhere near the state of Kansas next year. In the month of June, consider doing Bike Across Kansas. For the money, it's just the best way you can spend a week and learn about the state. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, just comment down below and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Again, thank you for watching Bike Across Kansas 2023.